please drop in your questions on the chat box. Okay. Okay. First of all, I want to emphasize the fact that team has been described by several individuals and several people, all over the world, experts and all that. But I want to take a definition from Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie is, was rather the most richest, if you will use a double superlative, okay, is richest, but I want to say most richest, because he was not only, rich in terms of money, he was rich in terms of ideas, in terms of, he raised up, a whole lot of multimillionaire in his times, and he gave, he bequeathed something to generations later. He was the one that bequeathed the book, Think and Grow Rich. He called a young journalist to document that book. Napoleon Hill was a young journalist there. He called him to document that book, so that he will be able to bequeath wisdom and knowledge of how he became the richest man in the whole world at his own time. Okay, this was during the same time in which Ford, was living. Now he said something. So why am I focusing on Carnegie? Is a man that understood teamwork, because he built most of his wealth, okay, using team. All right. So he said teamwork is the ability to work together towards a common vision. Okay. The ability to direct individual accomplishment towards organizational objectives. It fuels, common people to attain and accomplish uncommon results. Please look out for salient things as we look at this definition. Okay. There is a common vision. There is a working together, and there is organizational objective, and there is uncommon results. Okay. So, we don't see a team, okay, as just made up of champions and all that. They may be ordinary people, but because of the synergistic impact of working together, there is, a kind of dynamo effect that is produced, towards achieving organizational objective, okay, and makes them to surpass what the individuals will, of their own selves individually accomplish. So we said the sum, of the whole is greater than the sum of individuals, even sum together. Okay, and that's synergy. So where you do not find synergy, there is no team. I repeat, wherever the result of individuals working together, when you sum it up, okay, is still equal to the result of what the team is accomplishing, there is no synergy and there is no teamwork. The result of the team must be greater than the result of individuals working all alone when you sum it up. That's when you have a team. So, maybe is it in HR, maybe it's in finance, maybe, whichever department, operations, wherever you are. Okay, as a leader, and as a member of the team, you must work in such a way as to make even your team perform better than the result of what individuals, amongst you will accomplish. Let's look at this. Michael Jordan also is someone else that understands well about team. Michael Jordan, is, one of the renowned basketballer, in our generation. He won laurels like no one else. Okay, and so he understood very well what team or teaming is all about. He said this: talent win games, but teamwork and intelligence win championships. Okay, there's a difference between games and championships. When you understand in the game of basketball. Okay, so teamwork, he emphasized, makes you to be able to go the long haul. Teamwork in business is what delivers what we call sustainability. Sustainability means, you are not only making money, for the future generations to be able to, stand and to start up well, but you are creating an environment that will make them outperform even your own generation. So it's both creating an environment, a culture, and also, providing resources that will make them outperform your present-day performance. That's what teamwork is all about. So, if this is not ensured in place, then we don't have a good team, or we don't have even teamwork at all. So Michael Jordan repeats, talent win games. We may have, starry-eye talents, we may have, exceptional performance individually, but if they cannot work in concert with other people, Okay, combining even their resources of intelligence, their resources of capabilities and abilities with others, so as to win on the long run, so as to win against competition, then they are poor team performance. And I want to emphasize this, particularly in this season and in this time of the pandemic, that has forced upon a lot of organizations even to have virtual teams. This cannot be more true than before, that we should not focus on just talents. And this should also even inform even the kind of performance management system that HR should put in place. Because what you measure is what gets repeated. Okay, what you measure is what you will inspect on the long run. It is what you measure is what things you put as KPIs that people will work towards. You are setting an agenda by putting a KPI together. So your KPI must emphasize virtual team management. Okay, if indeed you want people to work towards that, and that's very important. Something else I want to just quickly make a passing on some quotes about team. Someone said it is amazing how much you can accomplish when it doesn't matter who gets the credit. In team, okay, we all celebrate. It doesn't mean that in an organization, okay, there will still not be individual reward for individual performance. But an organization that knows that its strength is in team, we give a greater weight to teamwork, to than individual accomplishment. Else, someone will destroy that culture of teamwork if what you are rewarding is just lone performance. Someone also said there is no I in teamwork. See, all the letters, there is no I. And we all know that acronym that teamwork means together everyone achieves more. So teamwork essentially is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results again and again. I'm going back to what Carnegie said. Teamwork is a fuel. It's like an opium. It's like a catalyst. It speeds up reaction. It speeds up performance. It enables you to accomplish beyond even what you ever imagined. That is the emphasis that Carnegie said. And please don't forget, that is the word from a one-time world richest man, who built up several hundreds, if not thousands, of other billionaires. Okay, until today is influencing us by the depth of wealth, of gems, of wisdom loaded in his experience documented as Think and Grow Rich. It is exceptional. So if he tells you something about teamwork, then consider it that it is worth we take a look at it. It's worth taking a look at it. All right. I want to use an historical model. Okay, please. The historical model is taken from the Bible. My reference to the Bible here strictly, is because it documents an history that is incontrovertible about the beginning of the journey of man. Okay, you remember the Tower of Babel. It's a story documented in Mesopotamia history, among the Sumerians. It's documented as a living story. So it's not just because it's in the Bible. So I'm giving you an account, of teamwork as documented, in the Bible, about a particular set of people when human race, started earlier on. It was documented that, the people had one language and one speech. For reference, it's in Genesis chapter 11, verse 1 to 8, if you want to make reference to it. Okay, so in that section of the Bible called Genesis, okay, chapter 11, when you read verse 1 and verse 6, the emphasis was that the people were of one language and one speech. Okay, and they journeyed and found a plain and dwelt there. And they decided, the leader gave a vision statement that let us build a city and a tower whose top will reach into the heavens. And it was said that they went to look for the resources and made bricks and burnt them thoroughly. Okay, and they started building. They said, the reason why they wanted to do this was to make them a name so they will not scatter. Okay, and it was said at the end of that story that they were succeeding and would have even finished the building. But because that was not the intent of the creator that created them, the creator wanted them to fill the entire earth. Okay, he therefore had to scatter them. But before the creator scattered them, he said something about those elements. He says, now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. So let us look at what makes a team unbeatable. That's the story of the insight from Babel. What makes a team unbeatable? Number one, effective communication and shared understanding. At Prosperous, if we want to be an unbeatable team in our industry, a pace setter, a differentiator, we must work on having effective communication amongst our team. Communication can be vertical, can be lateral. All across, there must be a culture of effective communication. Not only should we communicate clearly, okay, concisely, simply, it must build up shared understanding amongst everyone. The concept used amongst our teams, among our employees, amongst everyone that is a member of the family of Prosperous, Limited, must be one where we have shared understanding about our language. It must be a distinct language. Don't forget here, the entire world was of one language. That's the important thing. You must be of one language. So when we have people who have diverse language or diverse understanding of the same concept, it is called divoice. That is two voices. That is the beginning of divorce. Divoice, if you want to call it. So one language is important for teaming. Effective communication. The second thing you will find is that it says they journeyed, they found a plain and dwelt there. That is, they had a common destination. This is the objective of the organization. It must be, it also speaks to the first, condition, which is effective communication. Okay, the destination, our objective for the year. I believe we should, maybe early this year or late last year, we should have had our strategic retreat, looking at what we intend even to become, okay, at the end of 2021, vis-a-vis even ourselves and vis-a-vis competition and vis-a-vis the industry. So there must be a clarity concerning where the company is going and how we want to accomplish, even where we are going, we will still speak to that later. So common destination. Okay. The next thing is that, still explaining and leveraging on effective communication. Okay. The leader gave a clear vision, mission, and clear metrics and mileposts or milestones for measuring performance. This function rests with the CEO, rests with the heads of the department, rests with all the supervisors. Okay, there is a corporate goal. Okay, there are the divisional goals. There are the departmental goals and and team goals. So it must be cascaded down. The team goals must take its life from the departmental goals. The departmental goals must take its life from the divisional goals. Divisional goals must take its life even from the overall corporate goals. There must be a seamless synergy, a trend line, true and true, until you get to the final, individual in the department. They must sing from the same page of the same book. So as to say, this is very important. So common vision, what we see ourselves becoming, vision must be clear. Where there is no vision, purposes even go amok. People, run without restraint. Vision guides you to know what you will choose and what you not choose. Vision will guide you in knowing who will go in this bus and who to drop. Vision will guide you in terms of even the new talents we should add onto our team so as to accomplish where we're going. Okay, the mission in terms, therefore, is how we will become what we want to become. Okay, it must be clear. And in terms of the metrics and the key performance indicators and the critical success factors must be clear. Must be clear within teams. Don't forget now, if we are emphasizing virtual teams, that means, it's not a brick and mortar thing that, you only manage them because they can see you. You have to manage using clear metrics. You have to manage using clear key performance indicators so that people, are self-driven in this, particular time in which we are. You need even to put in place a system that will run effortless and make people to be self-driven. And what is the system? YSTM says save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. Something you put in place to save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. So the days of MBWA, management by walking around because you are physically present in one place is gone. All right. The emphasis is that virtual working has become the new world of work. Work itself is redefined today. The place of work is redefined. The worker is redefined. Okay, so everything is convoluted, and this is very important. So you must understand this, and that is why you must the major job of leaders, whether it is middle management or top management at this time, is clarity of vision, mission, clearly stating the metrics by which people will be assessed and rewarded. The compensation structure and the policies around it will also have to be remolded, even because the strategy has changed based on the times in which we are in. Okay, then mileposts or milestones. Okay, so that, you will celebrate short wins must also be clearly explained. Then you will, the story continues that they made bricks and burnt them thoroughly. Okay, this is the strategy for building the tower that will reach into heavens. It is not just mere things. So you must consider here what kinds of brick will fit into the structure we want to build for Prosperities in 2021. What kind of, these bricks may be in terms of personnel, in terms of talents, maybe in terms of process, it may be in terms of policy. And as you are listening, everyone, an employee here, you must begin to ask yourself a question. Am I, a brick fit to build even the future that Prosperities sees in 2021? This is very important. You must begin to do a self-assessment before even your boss, your supervisor, or the CEO assesses you. When you are unable to give value to the future of your company, then you become expendable. Again, I said, if you are unable to give value to the future of the organization, you become expendable. This is important. The next thing we saw is that the purpose and the objective was clearly stated. Okay, maybe before I go there, let me emphasize something on communicating organizational objective. And this is speaking to leaders in the organization. This is important to know that what is sacrosanct is what you see of your future, your vision, your ambition. Okay, the strategy of getting there may change. And this is where the principle of flexibility and resilience comes in. Flexibility in terms of you are open to change by adapting, not adjusting. There is a level to which you can adjust a screw before it breaks off. But adjusting means you are in something is happening on your inside. There is a change of the internal dynamics and also of the mindset. Okay, to be able to bounce back even based on the conditions in which you are operating now. So it is both flexibility and resilience. This is very important. Okay, you must build within your system resilience. And this comes by developing your people. This comes by exposing them to good training. This comes by also challenging them to higher operating level. And it comes more importantly by ensuring that team works. Nothing works sustainably except you make team work. It's important. So now I'm talking about now common purpose. The common purpose among these people is that they said clearly, let us make a name. So where purpose of a thing is not known, it is commonly said that abuse is inevitable. People just go, and do, and purpose is a bit different from vision. Vision is what you see of yourself in the future, but purpose is why, therefore, you are doing what you are doing. Okay. So, but they are linked. So, purpose must be clear and must be common, and this is still the job of leaders. Whether it is top management, as top management gives at the corporate level, passes it on to the divisional level. The divisional level owns the purpose and the vision, cascades it into their division, in scalable form, and passes it down to departmental heads. Departmental heads also cascade it, on down the line. But first of all, owning it, and aligning it to their own operations there. So they are not working in silo. Everyone is working, the whole organization is working as a team, and also there are teams within teams. Okay, this is very important. So it must be scaled down. All right. Then in departments, teams, whether they are ad hoc teams or they are standing teams, as we call them. Okay, ad hoc teams are teams that are just put together to confront particular projects, and they are dissolved once the project is finished. But standing teams are teams even that have a life longer than ad hoc team, because you see they are longer enduring things that they are meant to accomplish. Okay, that's standing things. So the departmental eyes will cascade it to all the team leads. And the team leads will also own this purpose. This objective will be broken down into various department team goals. Okay, but all linked to the vision and the mission. You must begin to ask yourself what you are doing. Is this helping Prosperis deliver on his mission, vision, strategic goals, and objective for 2021? Everything you do, because there is no one that will breathe down your neck, as in the brick and mortar arrangements before the 2019 COVID. Okay, so you must be much more self-accountable. It's very important. So there must be first of all self-appraisals going on a daily basis to show or to question whether you are still relevant in the scheme of things. We are in an economy, that will only future-proof anyone that is consistently relevant, because the times are changing fast. Okay, then don't forget, after a common purpose, which the leader made clearly known and passed down across the entire people, says, let us make a name lest we scatter. And the problem with some of us leaders is that we tell people the purpose, but we don't tell them the reason behind the reason. Let us make a name is a purpose, but that is not a purpose enough to drive the workforce. The purpose is for our security, for our safety, so we will not be, be exposed, to being decimated by wild animals. It says, lest we scatter together abroad. Okay, so this is a good example of a vision statement with clear purpose. Very important. Then the next thing you will see is that, the creator who made them now came down to say, guys, they have fulfilled all the conditions for a teaming structure. Nothing they have imagined to do will be restrained, except we do something. Let us disrupt even the critical element of teaming, which is communication. And that is where I'm going to. Communication is very important. When we are pulling in the same direction, we are a team. But when we are pulling in different directions based on the fact that maybe you are not sold on the vision, or lack of understanding or ignorance, then the team, will fall apart. There is a story, called the concept of hubris. Hubris set in when we think, nothing can break us down, and we care less for how we manage our team anymore. Okay, and that is when hubris sets in, and a decadence happens in an organization. Okay, so we must watch out for that. Continuous communication. And I want to say this to the leaders. It is said that the best way to sustain heightened communication concerning your vision, at least you must communicate your vision and rehash it once every 21 days. Not because it's on the wall of the company. You lace every conversation with your vision, with your mission, with the objective for the year. It becomes an ongoing conversation. Everyone have that shared understanding of it at all times. Okay, so Stephen Covey, a reputable leader that we all know, said something on team. He says, it's interdependent people who combine their own efforts with the efforts of others to achieve greatest success. Okay, they are interdependent, they are not independent. This emphasizes what we have said before. Okay, then there is a combination of efforts. We must understand that there's a synergy. This is not the time when anyone should play superstar. It will be to the undoing of the organization. Okay, the organization will not be able to reach even its greatest potential. Okay, and that's what Stephen Covey said. Okay, now I want to look at the reality of times and what makes even teamwork very difficult at this time. I made an allusion to it earlier on. But the American Army, came up with this concept in the late 80s, early 90s, but it became a business concept in the 200s, in the year 2000s. Okay, the VUCA concept. V standing for volatility, U standing for uncertainty, C standing for complexity, and A standing for ambiguity. VUCA, it's called. Okay, and they made us to understand that in terms of how we can predict the outcome of our actions, and so they said the things that were happening in those .com era, in the era of internet and all that, is making a whole lot of things to be much more complex, which means that there are multiple decision factors to consider. Okay, then the environment in which businesses are taking place is also much more ambiguous, and rate of change is very volatile, and also uncertainty is very high. But I now came up with the last acronym there, which is the P. I added it and I said the environment is not only VUCA but VUCAP, meaning that pandemic itself, okay, is a major factor that has accelerated the rate of complexity, the rate of volatility, the rate of ambiguity, and the rate of uncertainty. So if you say things were uncertain before, you better watch out for what is coming up next. So this, as I've said, is a time when we need much more flexibility. Your strategies, yes, you need to relook your long-term strategies more often. You don't need to wait until your QBR, your quarterly business review, before you relook your strategies, because of the environment in which we are in. The dynamic of change, the ambiguity and complexity of the environment, makes this environment very uncertain. So you have to relook things so as to know whether you quickly redirect your strategy. Don't forget, I said something when we are discussing vision, mission, and strategy. I said what is sacrosanct is your vision and your mission, where you are going and the objective you want to achieve. Your strategy is not sacrosanct. You can change it. For instance, you want to go to Ibadan from here. Okay, you can take maybe 3 roads to get to Ibadan. Okay, or 3 means to go to Ibadan. Okay? But the emphasis is this. Okay, you are clear about the fact that you want to go to Ibadan from Lagos. However, you may choose not to go with plane. You may choose to go with train. You may choose to go, with even a lorry. Okay, that's a strategy. Things can change with strategy. Okay, and because of the times in which we are in, you must expect change. Change should not be a surprise anymore. Change should not be a surprise. You must plan for change. Plan your future, what you want to become, but be ready to be flexible, okay, and to be resilient in change. This is what teams must also understand. So very quickly, understanding this, we know that several forces, that accelerated this change. And before COVID came, okay, like internet itself, like Internet of Things in itself, the nanotechnology, like several things, the world become a global village. The change was phenomenal, but now we see a change like never before. Companies that would tell you before that they could never work virtually, it has dawned on them that is now the in thing. Okay, because of the greatest disruptors. It is said that we have never had a lockdown, total lockdown, the way we had now. Okay, we have never had anything like this. But the last time we had something like this was as far as 1945, during the World War II, when, worship, everything, everything closed down. So we are saying that the world definitely is therefore at war. Businesses are at war. So you must recalibrate and re-strategize. You must see it as a war situation. War with an enemy we cannot see physically. It's COVID. So what are the strategies? Those of you in HR, what are the strategies? Those of you in IT, what are the strategies? Those of you in finance, what are the strategies? For those of you in operations, what are the strategies? You need to begin to put your thinking caps together and meet frequently to look at how we will best navigate these periods. It's not a time to work in silos. Okay. Some of the facts that we know very well: 63% of companies today, have remote workers. And I will say that this, with the second wave in the Western nations, this percentage was before the second wave. Okay, well before the second wave. So I will say that almost 80 to 90% will have moved to remote working now. Okay, in the northern hemisphere. Okay, particularly in the Western countries. Okay, Zappa, Automatic, Bofa, GitLab are totally virtual companies today. Google has not still resumed office. They said before, even in the second wave started, that they will likely resume in January 2021. Google have not resumed brick and mortar of office, as we say. Okay, so we are saying that it seems this is the way to work because it has come to stay. So if it has come to stay, what are some of the things we must begin to look at? Okay, we must begin to look at how teams can help us to leverage on combining the various skills, talents, and perspectives of people across zones, across geographical divides, across time regions, even towards accomplishing even the organizational goal and giving us even a superlative result. That's what we must begin to look at. Okay, knowing how to manage virtual teams to help us. So as a supervisor, what practically you may be looking at is, for instance, if your company has maybe outpost in Port Harcourt, outpost in Abuja, and all that. You may form teams based on the talents you need for a particular job. You may form ad hoc teams. So the teams don't really need alone to be because the Port Harcourt people alone are doing their own thing. No, the Abuja people alone are doing their own thing. No. So you must be able to leverage on the multidisciplinary competencies across various geographical divides, time zones, and all that. If you are so spread in your organization, even you are a group of companies, you must be able to leverage on that, and we must build these competencies. Don't forget, I've said there's a structure and a system you must build to deliver on this. Okay, there's a performance system. You must be the HR people. I believe they can do this very well. Okay, all right. So this is the dimension of virtual team. Therefore, I've spoken to this a little bit. It has a spatial dimension, which is separation based on geography. It has a temporal dimension, which is separation based on time zones. Okay, if we are in different time zones, we are temporal. We have a temporal dimension of virtual team. Then it has a structural, configurational, dimension of teaming. And also culture. The structural is the one I said. Forgetting whether they are spatially, diverse, or separated or temporarily separated. When you still have teams across those zones, then you have configured them structurally to become a team. Okay, likewise, you may have teams that are based on cultural divides, but this is a dangerous one, because if indeed is an entire organization, a singular culture must prevail across board. Across board, this is what the multinationals do. They have a culture officer, chief culture officer, who ensures that particularly people who come in at the top level, they are people who have allied and aligned values, because values are the major undertone of culture. Okay, so it may be the best person in wherever it's coming from, but if you look very well and you understand that the culture is used to based on where it's coming from will erode your own culture, it will not help you sustainably into the future. So we have to be able to look at these things quickly. Yeah. So the dimensions that we look at in terms of virtual teaming, I've said, you look at various things, how virtual teaming will affect training, the skills you need, the support you need to give, okay, the kind of motivation, the kind of collaboration platforms that you need to build, how to cascade the goals. These are several things you have to look together when you're looking at the dimension of virtual teams. And some of the things that can practically help you, okay, in delivering on all of these dimensions, in delivering on transforming brick and mortar teams into virtual teams. Okay, brick and mortar means physical, they're all in a physical location, maybe just separated by walls and all that. But now they are far flung. People are working from home. Okay, and all that. Maybe some people even have relocated back, with their family to UK, and they are still part of their company. That is the reality of time now. Crowdsourcing across timelines, across cultural divides. That's the reality now. So what will be the game changer for you in building your system, which I said is an acronym for save yourself stress, time, energy, and money? The first thing will be you must put appropriate task-focused processes in place. Appropriate task-focused processes, okay, so that you know what to measure. You must be simple enough, well communicated, so that people you don't sell what you want to achieve to them. They are sold on what you want to achieve because they understand it very well, and the processes by which they'll be measured, they are clear. Likewise, you must put in place collaboration tools. Okay, chat rooms, whatever. For chat, for instance, there is Slack, there is Twitch, there is WhatsApp, there is Telegram, whatever, collaboration tool. There are several, 1,001 today. Okay, some are free, some you have to buy as an organization, but you must definitely put in place collaboration tools. Collaboration tools, they are essential. Okay, there is one other called Signal now. There are several. Then document collaboration tools. Google is also one. Google Docs. So real-time online, revisions can be made across time zones. You can see it live. Nuclino is another collaboration tool. You must also have Google conferencing tools. Okay, because you don't want only to send documents, you want to see live. Okay, sometimes at meetings. So there is Slack, there is Google Meet, there is Zoom, there are several. There are also project management, collaboration tools. Okay, that shows us all the gang chat together. I can know where this person is. You can know where I am, and we can know what stage I am. So as to know where I can give and help, since we see ourselves as a team. There are several project management, tools, depending on, the nature of your business or service or product, company. Okay, there is the Trello, there is Asana, and several other project management tools. Okay. Then you must also have scheduling tools, so that if I want to invite someone for a meeting immediately, because we are sharing the same calendar, okay, I will know that it's not free at that time. I can't pull this person to this new ad hoc team because it's not free at that time. We have a shared calendar. You can use your several calendars. Okay, you can use your Google Calendar, you can Doodle, you can use your Calendly, and several other calendars. Then there is a design collaboration, used by design companies. So at every stage, it's just like you have a mock-up board. Everyone can contribute to the design until it becomes the entire product, which is in line with our vision, our goals, and our strategic objective. So for people in design organization, you can use Figma, you can use Marvel, and several other design tools. Okay, so I'm saying, what can be the game changer in this time is whatever tool you use for collaboration must be real time, must be online, and all-time collaboration tools. Real time, because as I make a change here and now, everyone in my team must see see that change immediately and be able to contribute to it immediately. It's online because that is the platform where we live our life now. And it's all time. It doesn't sleep. These tools don't sleep. You may go to sleep. You will meet even the contribution of that, of your team member, how he has tweaked or changed what you will meet it. If the person is in another time zone. So it's all time, real time, online. So begin to consider, what kind of tool can we use, in Prosperis that is real time, that is online, and all-time collaboration tool. Then one of the systems we must put in place is also mutual accountability. Okay, because everything is shared as in a collaboration environment. Okay, there must be a culture of mutual accountability where even the person below can quickly point something to the person above if he has missed a process, because all of us know that if one person misses the process, it's a button. It will slow down the relay race. So there must be mutual accountability. Okay, then performance management dashboards must be something that everyone can see. The KPIs are clear. Okay, we can see what went wrong, what went well, lessons learned. So it will be also like organizational learning. Okay, then also one of the backbone which I know you should have, okay, is an intranet backbone. This is a centralized knowledge base. Okay, so that whatever work is done that day by the virtual teams, it is captured and retained by the intranet. It is not reposited, okay, on the personal laptops of people out there. But don't forget, you must equip them also in the virtual environment, with what they need to work like that and enter into your central, database system or in central knowledge base system. Then we encourage, no matter how virtually we work, if possible, if it's just to celebrate wins and award, let us have periodic face-to-face meetings. It might be once in a quarter, biannually, it might be that. So these are some of the practical ways. Okay, let me quickly run through this, and so I can give room for a little bit of question. Likewise, there must be evidence of high level of support for one another, high level of mutual support. That we must build that culture. This is one of the things we must measure in our performance management. That is why also in football, and in games, they are being awarded even points for assists, not only for scoring goals today. Because they saw that, look, it was against teamwork spirit when you only give the highest goal scorer even the points. So assist, you must have a system in which you design to begin to give points to people who assist, even the game changers to achieve what they achieve. So they're not left behind. Okay, there must be a high level of member effort and work coordination. Okay, then there must be balance of member contributions. Okay, there must be tax-related communications. Okay. Right communication is important. Okay, tax-related communication, so as to direct your mind into what to do. Okay, then you must manage well your social, emotional processes, so as to increase your team cohesion, team identification, team bonding. Let the teams be able even to celebrate themselves, so that there is complementarity, not competitiveness. Okay, however, there is a little bit of competition to challenge each team to perform well. So the teams should celebrate themselves also. All right, there must be shared identity, within the team. There must be shared meaning and shared goals. All right, and there must be, however, it must be aligned to the overall group goal, to which the team identifies itself. And I must say this, that also the culture of the whole organization is very important. There must be a global culture. So I'm saying, rounding off now, that the imperative for success of teamwork, as I said, is to sell very well to all members through clarity of communication, effective communication. Okay, and there must be management commitment to this. There must be clarity in terms of strategy and structure. There must be unambiguous vision, mission, and goals. There must be exchange of basic information and ideas. Trust level, get increased when there is transparency, there is open communication, there's free communication, it will increase the trust level, okay, which is important for team to succeed. Also, there must also be interdependence and mechanism for capturing individual contributions, because I've said, yes, we will focus on rewarding teams more, but also want to capture individual contributions, how they contribute to the team, so as to also to reward them, just like I gave you as a standard rewarding assist in football. And then there must be a culture for continuous improvement. A culture of continuous improvement. Okay, don't forget, I made mention of flexibility and resilience when we started. Okay, teams help us to be able to, to bounce back and achieve that. Okay, when maybe in a region, in a zone, or amongst individuals, okay, the talents and the resources are diverse. You'll find that amongst them it will be easier, for us to bounce back. Okay, because also we have a multi resource team. Now, team also give a lower cost. You must understand that. For instance, a lot of organizations will tell you that they've saved a lot of money from moving from brick and mortar to virtual teaming now. A lot have saved a lot of money, and that's why some don't even want to go back to work. Okay, then there is increased productivity. If you do the things you should do well, the right systems, the right policies, the right processes, then there's access to global talent. I mean, talent across far dividing lines. And then, you can guarantee higher employee retention, because a lot of employees also want even that independence to do things on their own. It encourages it. And so look, that encourages retention. It has improved. Then diversity and inclusiveness, is delivered, because you can hire across land and climb. Okay, then it gives us richer solutions, because you have a potpourri of several individuals flung, in various areas across geographical line, time zones, and structurally to leverage on. So this will be where I will stop. I will hand over to BC, please. Ola BC. I will hand over to you, so that we can have some interaction, because we have just about 6-7 more minutes. Ola BC. Can you unmute yourself? Let's have some question time. I have not found any question on the chat box. I've not found any question on the chat box, so I don't know if anyone wants to raise up his hands to ask questions. I hand over to the coordinator. Thank you.
Thank you all very much for listening. If you have any questions for the facilitator, please drop your questions now, or we run out of time. Or any contributions, questions and contributions, please drop it in the chat room.
Those who want to talk can please just raise up your hands so we can unmute them. You need a clarification. Some concepts seems unclear to you. You want more, me to elucidate. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there's a question here. Of the collaboration tools that you mentioned, what is the best one, please?
Okay, the collaboration tool, okay. What's the question?
Of the collaboration tools that you mentioned, what is the best one?
The best one depends on your business. Don't forget, the strategy today that wins is not, what we call, a single bullet strategy. The strategy is, has to be the best fit strategy. So what you must consider, what is my business? Okay, what is the level of understanding of my people? Because don't forget, in all the tools, you want to hit the ground and running. What tools do maybe 50-70% of my people they already have a knowledge, and a capacity around that I can quickly hit the ground running. One of the tools I will say that people are easily used to is any Google related collaboration tool. Any Google related collaboration tool, you find that people already are used to the Google environment. Okay, that's one that I will give, you know, for free. Okay, then if it's a video conferencing tool, you will almost see that, for instance, Zoom seems to be topmost in the minds of people, you know, now. So that's what I would say for now. But I don't know if, for instance, in the organization they are already using Slack or Twitch before. So if they're already using that, we'll only scale it to the next level and teach people how to use it better, even for real time, online, all-time collaboration.
Okay, sir. We have another question.
Yes.
What shapes organization culture? What shapes organization culture?
Okay. What shapes the organization culture is really even the modeling that the leader shows forth. Those, you know, a leader has a high level of high locus of influence. And that is why I'm emphasizing that in hiring, particularly in this time, HR must be careful. If you mishire by bringing in a person with the wrong value, the locus of influence is so powerful as to dilute your culture and to bring a subculture to erode your superculture. So you must be careful. So what builds organizational culture, you know, first of all, is the leadership modeling. Is the leader living what we have in our books of value? Values become culture when it is lived. And so it is, first of all, the leadership modeling. The second thing is communication. And don't forget, communication is not only by words, it's also by action. The things unsaid. And likewise, I want to say that don't leave your culture only in the minds of people to conjecture. Let it be clearly written. HR must rethink at this time what kind of culture, okay, will still be relevant into the future of prosperity and into the future of what we want to become, and into the future of what the environment now, you know, constrains us to do. So, you know, as you change your policies, as you change those communicated in your written documents, it may shift your culture a little bit, but whatever shifts must not be something that will be injurious to achieving your goals and your objectives. So I've said something. Leadership is very important in culture. Okay, how they show examples, you know how they model, and what is communicated, it must be communicated. Okay, and you know what's written down. The three work together. Culture is called the spirit of the place by the Germans. It's called the Zeitgeist. Is culture, delivers on the climate of a place. And don't forget, based on the climate, you determine the kinds of vegetation that can grow. So the kind of company that will grow is determined by the kind of climate. The kind of climate is determined by the kind of culture. So please, this is very, very important. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sir, Pastor Olakami, thank you very much for the presentation. And I want to thank all the participants that joined. Thank you all. And I hope you've been enlightened on virtual teamwork and you will use it well in your company. Thank you all for attending.